So, how does impending death relate to how you should think about your business? I went to see an ill relative at a rehab center today, and it made me think about the end of a business and why you should actually think about that from the very beginning. Hi, I'm Brenna. I'm the merch nerd, here to talk to you about how to end your business and how to plan for that from pretty early on. Now, there are only 4 ways to end a business. One is inheritance. So if you have a family member who works with you and wants to take it over, you can pass it on to a family member. 2 is you can pass it on to your employees. So perhaps they want to buy it and run it themselves. Now, they do need to be younger employees because otherwise they're only going to get a year or 2 out of it before they're in the same position. But if you do have a younger, energetic employee or group of employees who wants to take on the business, you could potentially sell it to somebody who works for you. 3 is sell it to somebody else. Just build it and sell it. And 4 is just shut it down. And a lot of small businesses, a lot of us end up in 4, whether or not we want to, because we don't have a family member who wants to take over. We don't have young enough employees who want to take over, and we haven't planned for selling it. And this is why you want to start thinking about how you're going to end the business as you develop the business. Because there are 3 main factors that are going to make your business valuable to somebody other than you. One of those big factors is systems. Systems allow you to separate yourself from the daily running and the value of the business. So if everything is contained in your head, if you are the touch point for almost every step of somebody's journey with the business, it's going to be really hard for the business to maintain or retain value when you're not with it. Now, this happened to a friend of mine who runs or has run a local charity for over, I think we're at about 40 years. And when it came time to kind of pass the charity on to the next generation, the next interested group of people, a big problem was everything was in his head. He was the one that had really driven the charity for the 40 years, did the big parts of the work, and then got volunteers to do the actual physical parts of it. And so when he no longer wanted to do it, all of his contemporaries were also kind of ready to step back. There wasn't anybody trained up who had been working on the systems for him to pass it on to. So, and they didn't have any systems, they didn't have an SOP, they didn't have any systems written out. Like I recommended that he write out his SOP, and he got like 13 pages into it, and even he was like, no, I'm good. I don't want to take on this project. It's too much work for the high potential that nobody's going to step up anyway. So as things in your business start to become repetitive, you want to do some $10,000 an hour work, step out, and make those a system, meaning that you write it out as an SOP, standard of procedures, that step 1 of somebody calling and asking questions. What are the common questions they ask? How do you onboard them? What does a typical first visit cost? What are labs that tend to be ordered? It doesn't mean that you have no flexibility, but what it does mean is you have a skeleton of a structure that covers 85% of most interactions, so that somebody else could follow that same system, and have well taken care of clients most of the time. Now, number 2 is your email list. And I've talked about this before and how important it is to get a way to contact your ideal clients that is not social media. So number 1, getting a list of email addresses that people okay that you contact them at. And then 2, making sure that email list is active and engaged. So you can put offers, through email and actually have that be effective. Now, email still has almost a 40% return on investment. So every dollar you spend on email done well, you should get almost $40 back. And a basic rule of thumb that most entrepreneurs and most small businesses use is a dollar per address, that you really should be making about a dollar per email address per month from your email list, which is a lot. That's, pretty easily $1,000 a month, which, can be a lot of bills in a small business. So the third thing that makes your business valuable is continuity, guaranteed payments. And that's why you're seeing so many businesses add in some sort of subscription, some sort of membership. Now, something like Amazon or Netflix is built on a membership model, but I was just at Best Buy yesterday, and they have a 3-level membership, sort of a base, a medium, and a high-level membership that gets you some discounts, gets you some early information. But even Best Buy, a retail store, has a membership. Car companies are trying to get into this. Printers very aggravatingly have done this. But the reason that so many businesses push that so hard and are putting so many of their resources into getting people on memberships is it gives you predictable income. And even if it's just for 3 months or 6 months, if you know that every month for the next 6 months, you're bringing in $15,000 for membership income, it's a whole different game than one-off services where you don't have any consistency, or even selling packages, because packages are kind of a mixed bag. I sold a ton of packages when I did a single service in our clinic for about a year, and it was great on the front end, but if they took 2 months to use their package, now I was spending time and not getting paid for that time because I'd already been paid. So it's a weird numbers game where, yes, you're paid in advance, but then you end up having these financial gaps in your income stream because of the prepayment. So 3 things. 1, systems. Having an SOP where somebody could step in and run it that's not you. 2 is your email list. Not only having people on it, but having it be active, which doesn't necessarily mean emailing every week, but it does mean consistency. And 3 is continuity, so guaranteed or predictable payments versus one-on-one or one-to-one payments. And then 4 is the special sauce, the goodwill, the good opinion that you have developed between your business and your customers, the branding, the recognition, kind of the extra stuff. But I will say, and this includes myself and my business partners, we have spent a lot of energy on 4 and nowhere near enough energy on 2, and I just have never really gotten 3, a continuity program, to work. In fact, that's really where my journey started into the whole digital entrepreneurship, is getting frustrated with that, kind of fluctuating income and trying to figure out a way to have inflow that didn't require my time and consistency. And like I said, we tried, some things that, we didn't really have that full clinic behind it. And then 1 is systems, and we did really good with systems. So those are the 4 things. And why you want to start thinking about this as early as possible, in fact, today, this weekend, Monday, in your business, is it takes a while to develop all of those, but the more systems you have documented, the easier it is to hire a new employee, the easier it is to clone yourself. Even if it's an intern and you come in at the end and kind of do the final polish. The email list takes a while to develop and to get your rhythm in how you email, what people respond to, and develop that consistency so people expect it and open your emails. Obviously, your continuity programs take a while, don't have to take very long to develop, but you want to get people in them, get your retention up, and then, the special sauce is what you already know or figuring out. So that is why how a visit to a sick family member made me think about kind of planning for the end. Just like as people, earlier than we want to, we should be at least getting a base level of affairs in order. And same thing for our business. We want to prepare for a good, controlled exit as best we can. And an exit that helps us retire, an exit that's bountiful for all, including the person who buys the business. That we give value and we can pass on the work that we've done, and it doesn't just fizzle into nothingness and somebody else has to come by and start from scratch and spend all that energy starting from scratch versus building off what you've created. All right, guys, those are the thoughts for today. I'm Brenna. I'm the Merch Nerd. And tech problems aside, I will be back tomorrow. Bye.